Hi, fellow cigar box picker David Spencer and I were talking about the fact that he's been playing some Byrds music, in particular Mr Tambourine Man. And he was wondering about getting the 12-string sound on his 3-string. And I thought, well, that was an intriguing idea. And he mentioned he'd been looking at a jangle compressor. And so I did some reading, and I guess the compressor is a big part of Roger McGuinn's sound, that you can't just go buy a Rickenbacker guitar and just plug it in and get that sound, and it needs to be compressed. So I got thinking about that, and I put together a little demo for him of how I thought you could do it, and he really liked it, and he wanted to know exactly how I did it. So I thought I'd just share that. So this is my instrument that I used, which you see me use a lot if you watch my stuff. It's got a humbucking pickup, MGB under the bridge, and everything else. There's nothing special about it. These switches don't do anything. I'm just too lazy to take the top off and take them out. It used to be hooked to a piezo and on-off, and the pickup on-off, but I stopped using the piezo on this one. So I used that, and I found this old compressor of mine, which is like my favorite compressor in the whole world. Mostly because I've never bought another one. I got this in the 90s, and as far as a standalone, I have some multi-pedal stuff with compressors in it. They seem to work okay, but as far as a standalone compressor, I really like this. And one thing I noticed when I was reading about the jangle compressor is it had a lot of control over the tone. And this one does as well. It has an attack switch to bring brightness back in, and it has a tone switch. And you can see these now in pawn shops. Up here in Canada, like for 40 bucks. And I think this thing was only like $60, $70 when I bought it new in the 90s. So, I mean, if you got lots of money or want to spend lots of money, then of course, a cool thing to do would be to buy a jangle thingy. But I kind of thought, well, I wonder if I could do this on the cheap. So I used that. And then I used this from Donner. I took pictures of all my settings, and I'm going to post them at the end of this video, which will be coming up pretty quick. I got this from Donner as a harmonizer pedal. It's got a weird name. It's called the Harmonic Square Pedal. This pedal really, really works well. It was like 80 bucks, and it tracks really well. I've used it on a bunch of stuff you may or may not have seen. And it does a really good job. As a matter of fact, the only time it screws up is when I'm screwing up. If I'm playing sloppy, well, it doesn't know which note. But if you play clean, it just follows you no problem. So I use that. And the only other thing I needed was my trusty microcube, which everybody has. And I took the picture of the settings of that too. So if you wish to, if you like what's coming up in a couple seconds, you can completely duplicate it. And as I mentioned, I've got pictures at the end of the video of exact settings. But in all honesty, I think there's probably a few ways to get this sound. I think it kind of worked pretty good, and you can let me know in the comments whether you think it did or not. Have a great day. Here's the demo.